Maureen has really, since she came back to the farm in the 70s, devoted a good part of her life to help agriculture in New York State between the different labor bills and anything that she thought lobby for in New York State and in Washington.
Maureen's also been really extremely involved in legislation on the state level, working with the state and the Department of Labor and other elected officials in our state, and helping to form the legislation that we're dealing with now, and trying to come up with reasonable compromises that is acceptable both to us and to them. And so I'm certain that if people like Maureen didn't get involved, we might have been left with something that wouldn't have been nearly as workable.
About 2 years ago, President Trump met with 16 farmers from around the country. Maureen was one of the 16 that was asked to participate. And I know that she was able to make the points and represent our needs here in New York with our diverse agriculture.
I would say that's one of our biggest issues, you know, in all sides of our operation is our workforce. And it says a lot that we have people working for us that worked for us for over 40 years. We have a few that actually just retired this past year. And it says a lot, what kind of work environment she helped create here at Torrey Farms.
One of the organizations that I've been involved with her is the National Council of Ag Employees out of Washington, D.C. And she's been very active in that, and she's always been on the executive committee. And
she's involved in NEDPA, she's involved in New York State vegetable growers, and I know most of them she is either on the directing committee of them or is overseeing them, and is always she cares about a lot, not just one particular aspect of agriculture. She cares about everything in agriculture, from dairy to vegetables to grain to everything that agriculture encompasses. She cares about it.
As another woman in the industry, I never felt that I was at a disadvantage being a woman. I mean, I think a lot of that was because of her. She never thought of it as a disadvantage starting out in the 70s with my grandfather and my dad and my uncle. She thought it was to her advantage because people remembered her.
I feel she has probably done as much for our industry in helping with issues and fighting issues and promoting resolutions and helping the people along the way. I think that's what makes her special. She's really, every day she gives to the industry. Even if she's on vacation, we talk on issues. So
Maureen is deserving of this award because she works every day, I would say spending 80% of her time on issues that help everyone in the industry, not just our farm. And she doesn't ask for anything. And she doesn't go out seeking awards. Half the time when it comes to the culmination of something where the success point has been reached, I find she doesn't even go to that point because it's done. And to me, that's someone who doesn't need recognition. So I think at this point in her career, to finally say thank you for everything that you've done, it's just well-deserved.
Throughout any industry that Maureen is involved with, she is a natural leader. The Grow New York campaign, I believe, was the real catalyst that allowed us to get these laws to where we have them today and not be considerably more constrictive. Our trip to Albany last summer with over 400 or 500 of our employees wearing Grow New York t-shirts that said, "We want to work," in a very proactive way on a beautiful day, sent a clear message to Albany that we and our employees are all working together and want to be able to maintain and be productive on our farms here in New York.
I've heard a lot of people saying, I've witnessed myself, is Maureen is just a great orator. I mean, she could walk into a room of 200 strangers and talk for 30 minutes about something that is totally relevant and that everyone can connect with, and she knows what she's talking about. And I guess that's like, one of the the biggest things I've observed of her.
I think something about Maureen that is funny and or just describes her perfectly, in my opinion, is Maureen is the one person that I think if she calls you, you jump, and she's just has commanded and that level of respect. Not by telling you you had to care about what she said, but she's earned it. And she's the one person that if she calls and she suggests something or tells you something or asks you something, it's important, and you stop what you're doing. And this goes for me, this goes for my 4 brothers, my sister, even my dad. If she has something to say, you listen.
Oh, I would say my aunt's made a positive impact in the agricultural industry in a lot of ways. And I mean, one is she's down at least once a month or a couple times a month in New York, in Washington, D.C., advocating for, you know, different ag policies for New York State, for the country as a whole, and is always trying to help better the industry and make it more sustainable for the future. And, you know, for us, my generation, to keep on farming, keep the tradition alive.
And I mean, she would also probably say that Torrey Farms is one of her greatest achievements. And now I'm gonna get all teary-eyed because this is emotional, okay? But, like, this is, like, I wanna be around and I want my kids to see, you know, what my dad and Maureen and my Uncle John built. And my grandpa, I mean, my grandpa wasn't around super long to see their successes, but he saw the start of it. I mean, he was what started this.
She's all about teamwork and collaborating with people. And I hear the phone calls she makes behind the scenes to rally people that nobody ever even knows about, that she's doing, just pushing buttons behind the scenes, motivating people that otherwise might not get involved or might be too afraid to speak out. She gives them that little nudge that they need and she empowers other people. And to me, that's a leader, and that's, I think, her greatest contribution to this industry is her ability to collaborate with other farmers.
Maureen has really been willing to play the long game, and she's been relentless in immigration reform, and I wouldn't have blamed her at any point in time if she got discouraged, because there's been a lot of setbacks, but she's had the fortitude to stick with it, and I really admire her for that.
Well, no one's worked harder for agriculture than Maureen has in the last 40 years. You know, immensely proud of Maureen and proud of all the things she's done in her life. And she's worked hard for agriculture her whole life, whether it's on our personal farm or just every farmer in America, really, in New York State.
Congratulations, Maureen. I want to personally thank you for all the work that you've done on our behalf and on our industry's behalf, and you're very well deserving of this recognition. Thanks again, Maureen.
Maureen, I'm glad you're getting this award, and it couldn't go to a better person. And I am glad to have worked with you all these years.
Congratulations, Maureen. Thank you for everything you've done for not only myself, but for the agricultural industry here in New York.
Aunt Maureen, I just want to congratulate you on this award and tell you that there's not anyone more deserving of this award. And I've witnessed how much you have given for this industry, for our farm, for our family, and for the success of everyone in the state and at the national level, that I hope you take a minute and realize how much you are appreciated, because I know all the defeats you face every day trying to fight all these uphill battles. It is appreciated, and I'm glad that you've never given up.
So, Aunt Maureen, we just want to say congratulations. All of your hard work, although maybe isn't thanked, it does not go unnoticed. I'm here because of you, and I like to think that you're proud of us, just like we're proud of you and what Dad and Uncle John have built. So thank you, and congratulations.
I guess I would just like to say congratulations, Aunt Maureen. You've been a role model of mine for my whole life, and everything that you've done and how you've left the farm and what you've built it up to is amazing, and congratulations again.
Congratulations, Maureen. There's no one I could think of more deserving of this award. I believe you're in Washington, D.C. representing us today. And with that, keep up the hard work and look forward to our continued friendship and working together in this unbelievable careers we call agriculture.